Hi guys, and welcome back to Cute Tattooed Girl PhD. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. I hope you guys if your day hasn't been phenomenal and hasn't been great, that's okay because there's always tomorrow. Remember that there is always, if we're not having such a great day today, tomorrow will always be better. And if tomorrow's not better, then the next day will be definitely better. Um, so today we're going to talk about a topic that is going to be a little bit that has to do with mental health, but also has to do with our own inner self and our own inner peace, our core, our healing. And that topic is forgiveness. What is forgiveness? It's an action, right? Forgiveness is an action that you must do in order to please not only yourself, but someone else, right? So the first step to forgiveness, what is forgiveness? What do? Well, forgiveness is the ability to say, I accept your apology. If somebody's asking you for forgiveness, and you move forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean let's go ahead and um, be friends and be okay again. Doesn't mean that. Forgiveness just means I forgive for what you did to me. You hurt me, either emotionally, physically, mentally, or financially. And I'm okay with forgiving you. But first, you got to heal first. The first step of forgiveness is coping with yourself, understanding that you have been hurt emotionally, physically, or whatnot. And I feel that sometimes you just have to first be okay with yourself in order to be able to forgive somebody else. Okay? It doesn't mean you have to have them in your circle of friends. It just means that you're able to just move on from that person. When you are asking for forgiveness, it's because you did something wrong. And first of all, you got to accept that you did that wrong and come up with an apology that is meant to be not only helpful to the other person, but for you as well, to have a mental health that's clear, of a clear conscience. So, one exercise that I want to share with you guys is when you can't find the person that hurt you, or because sometimes we can't find that person, they either left or you never spoke to them again, or court battle, legal battle, whatever, is write a letter. And there's an exercise that I like to practice quite often. You write a letter to the person and then burn the letter. Express everything that has been wronged you, hurt you, whatever. Because that person you can't find, you burn it. Because in your heart, you know you said it. And when you say it out loud or it's written and you can actually see it, you can actually cope better. Burn it. And if ever you see that person again out in the street, you're okay with yourself because you know you apologize and you were done. You could say hello if they say hello, and if they ignore you, that's okay too. Because in your heart, you've healed. And healing is a long process. Sometimes it takes a year or two to heal. Sometimes it takes a lifetime to heal. Every individual is an individual. But forgiveness is important, you guys. Forgiveness is important because we want to be at peace with ourselves. If we did something wrong, we need to be forgiven if we can be. And if we can't be forgiven, it's okay too. Maybe what we did was astronomically horrible. And we need to understand what we did was wrong. And maybe that person won't forgive us. So then you cope with you. You say, what can I do to be a better person? Better yourself. Don't let it happen again. Secondly, is if you're the one having to forgive. If you can't forgive, that's okay too. Because we're not all meant to be forgiven. So when I talk about forgiveness, it's a road that has two ways. Either you learn to forgive or you learn not to forgive. And the other road is to ask for forgiveness and not get it. That's how it goes. There's only two ways, and one way in and one way out. And it is, again, for those who are struggling with mental health issues because of it, because you did something wrong and you depressed because of it, whatnot. This is what will help you cope. Write a letter, journal. Put your thoughts out into a piece of paper, and once you read it, they become real, and your mind starts to heal a little bit better. And it's important that you do that. Practice your yoga exercises early in the morning. Get up early in the morning one day and go outside. Get yourself a blanket, a towel, whatnot. You don't have to take a long time out there. Just sit down. Do like the Indian style kind of thing. Breathe in and breathe out. 4, 6, 4. Use that. And then, okay. So 4, 6, 4 is the number. 4 in, 6 out, 4 in. And then ask yourself, how could I be a better human being? Even if you're the person that's gonna have to forgive, or the one that's asking for forgiveness, ask yourself, how you can be better, how you can help yourself be better, and how could you start the healing process of starting to forgive slowly, in a slow pace. Forgive the little things first, the things that don't really matter. But when the big things comes, I recommend, and this is a really strong recommendation, is counseling. If you find yourself in a spot that's too dark, and some of the recommendations I'm giving are not enough, take a warm shower, then do the 10-second cold shower to help you with coping. The grabbing of ice in your hand to help you with the anxiety. If all that stuff isn't helping you guys, my recommendation, reach out to a counselor or a therapist. And if that doesn't help you, then reach out to a professional, which would be a psychologist or a psychiatrist, to help. There's ways of getting help. And imagine 35% of Americans right now are actually seeking help. Whereas the rest of us, because I am seeking help, but where's the rest of the American people that are struggling with mental health issues, depression, anxiety, panic? How are they coping alone with nothing? It's important to recognize your symptoms, and it's important to share them, as I am doing on this platform. This is the reason for this platform. I want you guys to know that I've been through a lot. Not from now, or from 20 years ago. I've been through too much debts. I've been through too many accidents. I've been through being harassed. I've been through having my daughter being assaulted by autism learning partners and their employees. I've been through a lot. So my depression was massive. And so I did do the counseling. I did do therapy. But eventually I did have to do a therapist, psychologist. Because I felt that I was spinning out of control. Half of the time I didn't even know what I was doing. I was thinking like I didn't have children at that time, and I was doing some really not so good things. And I can admit to that. Getting friendships that weren't good for me. They're bad for me. Those type of relationships that can destroy you and your family are not good relationships. Toxic relationships that don't help you. Avoid them. But the only way to do that is if you seek for help. So again, you guys, if you guys need, use the tips that I told you. If those coping tips aren't helping, seek counseling. Go to your doctor, explain your situation, call the clinic. There's a national hotline for mental health. I'm sure you can look it up in your phone book. I don't put it up here because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that because I'm such a small channel. But there is a national hotline that mental health people who are suffering through struggles can help. So that is the that is the topic of my platform today, is forgiveness. And God said for us to be able to forgive as He forgave us. So it's harder for humans because we're imperfect. He was perfect, but we should always give it a try, give it a shot, and understand that there's implications to it. But remember that there's always that light at the end of the tunnel. Remember what I'm always going to say this: it is darkest when it's about to be dawn. And that's when the most beautiful sunset will come, and it always does. So we thank God for another day, for being here. Thank you so much for being on my platform, for listening, for taking the time to see my videos, and just appreciate all the new subscribers. I am so forever humbled from all these subscribers coming on here and just listening to my stories. And these are true life stories that have happened, and we'll talk about some of them. I'll break some down for you in future videos. But just remember, forgiveness is an action, and it has repercussions. And sometimes we forgive just to get rid of the person. That's not good either. Really reflect. Look in a mirror and reflect. This is a cliche that I've heard so many times in the past, like your past, right? I lived in a house. I rented that house. That's my past. I can go back and look at that house, but I don't live there anymore. Because you can go back to that house and reflect of all the things that happened in that house, whatnot, but somebody else rents it. You can't go back in there and live there anymore because you don't live there anymore. You live in a different place, in a different era, in a different situation. And it's a cliche, I know, but it does make you wonder, You know, can I go back to the past? Just don't live in it. Don't dwell in it. Reflect on it. And if there is a lesson you can get from that past, use it. And if there isn't, do your best to just try to, like, out of sight, out of mind. So thank you so much, you guys, for being here today. Thank you so much for, again, watching my videos, watching my shorts. I am so forever humbled for so many people that have come on and signed up for listening to my stories. I really, truly appreciate it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And remember, be careful, be safe, be empathetic. Most importantly, respect those so you get the same respect back. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.